last till the end of my recording. Anyway, as I was telling you, I believe there's actually someone outside. Yes, I think I found someone, or maybe something. This are sort of something like a glass against wind, because it's really windy, but also have these things here that I don't know, I think they're uses to let the air going through so they won't get misty, you know, the vision. This way I can have a clear vision, even if I wear it for a long time. And God knows how long I need to wear them when I walk outside with this wind and this dust here. Anyway, yes, it was one of my latest foundings. It was in a store. I believe it was called a hardware store back then. Not sure what the original purpose was. This kind of glasses here, this shield here. I believe there is some sort of protective shield, or some kind of work. Not sure. Anyway, I really think there is someone outside, and to tell you the truth, I'm not sure it's a good sign. This actually, I think my cover has been blown. And by cover I don't mean that I was framed or something like in a spy story. There are no spies anymore here. There are no spies. My shelter actually, I think it was spoiled or robbed. I'm not sure. So I thought it must have been someone else. I actually hope it was someone else, because when I got back here yesterday, after 3 days of walk, I mean 3, can you imagine? 3 days of continuous walking and scavenging around to find something to eat and to drink. Well, when I get back there, something was different. I mean, looks like they haven't stolen anything around, but you know, what can they steal? There's nothing beside some garbage and broken things. They could have took away my fire here, but you know, probably they used this same place I'm sitting here to get a bit warmer themselves, or himself, or it themselves actually. Yeah, because I don't think actually it's a human being. I believe actually I'm a bit scared about that, but I believe it's something else. Anyway, I'm gonna explain you why I think this, and but first thing first, here's the watch here, still working. This, at least, it's a good sign, as you know. Gives me a little bit of hope. Anyway, I was telling you, some sort of new addiction of the intruder. I don't know. Then I checked out all my shelter here, and there was no one. Probably he left when he saw me coming back. I don't know. Probably he's as scared as I am. But as I was telling you, I don't think it's really human. And then I started thinking, and what if instead of being human is some sort of machine? You know, probably in the previous chapter of this, let's call it chronicle, we hinted to some sort of rise of the machine, like the movies, the old, you know. But I think it was a sort of a ridiculous idea, you know, because this is not a movie. Actually, it's real life. This is the reality after the event, you know. And I haven't found any signs of life since the day I woke up. Until 3 days ago. Can you believe it? When I get inside my shelter, hanging near the entrance, I would say the door, but there's no door actually. I found these things here. Oh, just give me a minute. I'm extracting it from my trusted backpack here. And believe me, when I saw it, man, I was really, really scared, because I don't think that these kind of things, whatever it is, can belong to a human being. I mean, can you imagine? Can you see that? Can you see it? What the hell could it be? There's a harpoon here, a hook, you know. There's a blade here. I don't want to touch it because it's really sharp. A hand here and a chain. Looks like I don't know. Piece of a ancient torture machine, or maybe. So I thought, what kind of human being can use this piece of metal here? And oh, there's also these things here that can you imagine what the purpose of this thing here? I really can't. And it was hanging just there, right there near the door. Someone must have left it. Someone, or as I was saying, something. Because I would have noticed the other times, the other days when I in, I don't know. And these other, well, I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, after this one, I found another thing. Actually, two other things. Oh, by the way, here's the book. Later on, I will read you if the light of this fire will last, and if actually I don't get too scared or tired, after 3 days. I will read you some passages here, some new pages. Anyway, I told you, I found this here. Just a second. This also looks like a piece of a machine here. Can you see it? Looks like a gear of something. Maybe it goes with this, I don't know. Doesn't look of the same material though. I couldn't imagine to fix it. So, it looks like a gear of some kind of, I don't know, engine or something. It looks like it's more solid material. It's really heavy for its dimensions. And I say, there's a saying, I believe, that two clues makes a proof, or something like that. To tell you the truth, I can't remember much about my previous life, as you might well imagine. Anyway, this gear here was, well, actually I found it quite close. I think it was near the fireplace here when I found it. And can you imagine the surprise? For the second time that day, I started checking around if there's someone actually hiding behind this piles of garbage here. But I actually find anyone. And when I finally set my body to rest, I started hearing a noise, and it wasn't inside my head. I'm sure it wasn't inside my head. No. It was outside, just like someone was escaping, but it wasn't the sound of human steps, It was a clanking sound, like actually something mechanical. It was running away. Something like this. I hope you can hear it. And then, all of a sudden, that sound could not belong to a human. It's worthless to say that seen a knife with this shape though. It's not even sharp, you know. There's a pointy hand here, but well, this actually is, but the rest of it, it's not even sharp. Looks like it has been used for a while now. Anyway, have you ever seen? There's a little hanker here. I don't know what that means, but have you ever seen a knife with this shape? Looks like coming from some sort of sci-fi movies, you know. And I can even recognize the material it's made of. That's the final proof. There was someone inside my shelter, I believe. And to tell you the truth, after I found this two-piece here that I couldn't recognize, probably due to some sort of sleep privation hallucination or something like that. Looks like even if I was awake, I started dreaming, I would say. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it looked like I found. I can explain this without looking mad. I found myself someone else. I know. How does it sound? I know. It doesn't make any sense, right? No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, this is my new bottle. It's more useful than the other one during my trips because the other one was too big. This one at least it's a bit more manageable, you know. Yeah. It's made of glass for sure, at least one material that I can recognize and I remember. There's a lot of glass, to tell you the truth. Glass and plastic. That's what left of this society. Here the bottle cap. It's a safe one. You can screw it or unscrew it here. See? And inside I put, as usual, some tap water. I haven't found anything else, so give me just a second, please. Yeah. So, as I was telling you, I know it sounds crazy, but I truly believe what I saw. And during that sleepless night, I found my body, I would say, like an extracorporeal experience, but that was real. Can you believe this? It was real. Looks like I was somewhere else, in a complete different time and place. Well, maybe after all, it was a dream. I don't know. Anyway, probably it was induced by the things here that I found, but it was almost a nightmare, and I was in this place surrounded by other people, other men and women, wearing long white shirts and glasses like this one here, like this one in plastic glasses are, and they wear gloves on their hands, white gloves, latex I believe it was, or another sort of plastic, and they have syringes and other things, and they were clearly doing something to me, but I can see things is that my consciousness was completely clear. I can perfectly see them. Still, I cannot feel anything. But they were clearly doing something to me. They were working over my body and my actually here, and probably my brain. I don't know. And I started hearing that clacking sound again. You know, the sound that goes like there was something else or someone else behind my back doing something, you know. And then I saw this small thing here that looked like how can I call it? A CPU, and it was getting closer and closer to my eyes with a hand holding it, and then this hand with this piece of computer came out of my side, and I could hear something like somewhere in here, and then everything went blank and dark, and well, I woke up here in this shelter again. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that I woke up, since I don't think it was. I was back. I was back in this shelter here. Sounds crazy, right? Sounds crazy. I know. But I'm sure it's true. And then, when I found myself back in here, I started thinking, what if there ain't no machine outside? What if I am the machine? It was an overwhelming thought. I couldn't believe what I was thinking, but then suddenly this sort of realization. Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure it's true, so it can't be exactly a realization, you know. This shining discovery, you know. But then maybe the sound of metal, you know, the foundings, the call it voyage, jog something in my memory. Something that probably I was used to deal with back then, when there still was some sort of normality around. And I remember reviewing so-called scientific articles, you know, essays, and it was called something like artificial neural networks. Man, it seems like ages, you know. I can't even really place in times when I was doing that, but I suddenly started thinking what probably was my work back then, and I remember something. Back then, there was a sort of studies that were very, very, well, you know, I would say not dangerous, but critic, probably, about this sort of implants of artificial material CPUs that could connect through some layers of human tissue with your nervous central system to the neurons, and after a while the neurons themselves create some sort of network, and they could talk with these CPUs, so that they could create a hybrid between a human brain and an artificial one, you know. what? How can I find out that is true? You know, you can see my hands are normal flesh hands, you know, both of them, and my feet, my face. I think at least. I mean, I could not compare to another human being since there ain't no one else. And um, man, what if I'm really the last one, the last survivor of this planet here? How do I even know that this is a planet? Anyway, how do I know things? How can I remember things that I could not even... It's a really weird situation here. And what if I'm the last thing on Earth? Because through that sort of implantation, I was the only one able to survive to whatever it has happened. What if that? What if something else? I don't know. And if I'm the only one, what was that sound that I heard? What's the use of this piece of metal here? Probably they belong to me, and I don't even know that they belong to me. Doesn't make any sense, really. Then, after that thought, I must have fallen asleep, probably again, because I woke up the next day and everything seemed normal. There was anyone else around me. There was no one doing experiments with my brain, you know, and I felt relieved. But then I found again these things here. So, at least part of my thoughts, part of my dream, they must have been real. Something in what I've said, what I've told you here, must be true. Just I don't know what. What if is everything or just a part of it? Anyway, I started, as I was telling you probably in the previous video, taking some pictures around with the old camera that I found. And I want to sort of document the reality around. Can you hear that sound? Can you hear it? That's a metallic sound. That's not something that should be quiet. That looks like an engine. That looks like another machine probably up there. Probably it's someone like me. But I don't make noise like an engine. I mean, Jesus, probably I'm going crazy. I'm going mad. I need to calm down. I really need to take some day of rest here. But I'm not even sure I can stay here, you know. No, because if really my cover has been blown and my shelter is been spoiled, probably I'm a danger. Probably it's not that I am alone, but the humans are hiding from me, or they want me to be caught by some sort of no, I'm rambling around something without even knowing what is it. Anyway, I started taking some pictures of the world around my shelter and during my scavenging these winter days, because I need to document that I'm not crazy, and I believe this is the best way, because one thing is if when I saw that thing, it could be real or not. But when I take a picture with it, and when I see the picture, it represents what I saw, then it must be real. If I saw him twice, maybe not. I'm not sure. Anyway, I believe I'm not alone. Probably soon I'll need to leave my shelter here and run away and find some other sort of refuge or cover for the night. Probably I should start sleeping during the day, travel at night. It's safer, you know. Probably. I feel I'm normal, but I am the monstrosity, the creature, you know, like the Frankenstein story. Can you imagine that? But it's not like that. I'm not a dead body brought back to life. It's something else. I was already alive, but maybe they changed something. Or maybe not. It just is solitude. It's driving me crazy. This loneliness. I don't know. Anyway, soon I will I'll try to share this picture I took with you somehow. And I'll hope that through those pictures, maybe you can locate me. Not sure it's a good idea actually, because if you're hunting me down, or maybe you're afraid of me, or vice versa, I shouldn't, but I need to find some explanation. So I hope that by looking at those pictures that I've took of this weird reality, you will have some sort of clue, and maybe you'll get in touch with me, and together we can explain what's going on, you know. And well, that's it, basically. I really hope that I know that when I will leave this shelter here, I will be able to keep all my belongings. Well, it depends if I need to leave it suddenly or not. Anyway, as promised, now, before going to sleep and rest, I will read a little bit more of the book I found here. It's a chronicle itself of someone that must have lived during the event. And I hope you can remember where we left. It was, I think, in Cuba. It was warm, hot day, so it must have been summer. And it was comparing the sound of an ice cube inside a liquor, inside a glass of liquor, melting these cubes, and to the something that can give you a way to experience some sort of extracorporeal existence, and then it ends with a sort of poetry poem in another language that I could partially recognize, but not sure. And then all of a sudden there was a change of scenery, and I believe he started talking of the present, of his time, and he found himself in a conference room looking at someone talking, and that's it. And then here's the new chapter here, chapter 2. I'll try to read it a little bit, hoping that the sound of my voice wouldn't get me caught by, I don't know, by someone. Anyway, here it start with Tokyo's urban center, and their square geometry, their buildings, these faces, even if awful, have a reason, a purpose. No, it's everything else, what they mean. The sprawling chaos of every single carbon unit living there. Carbon unit. The so-called human being. Why does it call it carbon unit? I mean, everything is made of carbon. But why? And the way you say it, it's just like you wanna be part away from them. I mean, just like he's not a carbon unit, you know. What if one day you realize they're not human at all? So, it marks down this. Well, my friend, this is not even what you can call a metropolis. It has many exciting details for itself, especially for someone hating urban standardization like you. Then he's talking to you, but what it means is talking to himself, I think. But it's exactly, he keeps saying, it's exactly for those details that give such a uniqueness that we find out we hate it even more. I believe the subject here is always the city, Cuba, I believe, Havana, probably. Every time, he says, I set foot here, I feel like I'm balancing myself on the edge of the precipice. On one side, the progress, on the other, the wilderness, future and past. And then, marks down again, what if we already living in the future without even knowing it? Then he says this place has power. The power to suddenly burst into something different and change forever, evolve itself, breathing the self-imposed jail. Sorry, breaking. No, I'm sorry, just that handwriting, as you can see, so it's not usually it's not really readable. Anyway, the power to suddenly burst into something different and change forever, evolve itself, breaking the self-imposed jail and be free. But then again, what if this power is too much and this city, this world, for its own nature, doesn't dare to go further, so it keeps imploding back on itself down to the concrete ravine? Alright. The more you stay, the more you realize there's something wrong in here. The seeds of carbon unit behave, again with this carbon unit, hiding underground. The seeds of this carbon unit behave, hiding underground, are ready to sprout into the complete chaotic randomness. Randomness and chaos, two different words, one unique world. Everything here is fuzzy, mixed up. Living here, you end up being fuzzy yourself. Well, looks like actually what I dreamt. But what if there's a way out? What if we already are in that out? So, by reading this, you might think I'm crazy. What if I'm not? destiny. Looks like he's talking to me. And he says it is not carbon unit, what he calls human. And he's talking to the reader, and I'm reading this. And since he says that this is my story, his story, but my destiny, probably it's me that it is talking about. Maybe I'm going crazy. I mean, what if this is actually me writing it? And for some reason I can't remember. Probably I started writing it to keep a track of what was happening, in order if something would ever happened, I can trace back my origins. But then again, he says that it's not human, that probably is a machine. Then again, maybe I am the maybe there's really something else, someone else. Then again, when I wrote this, probably I was still human, or what if it was me that put this thing here previously without even knowing it? Or maybe there's I don't know, what the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here? I need to think about it. I need to sleep on it. Yeah, probably the daylight will bring clearness to my so-called mind. Anyway, I really hope you'll find this my personal chronicle here, and together we can help each other to find out some reason of what is going on, some sort of explanation. When you'll find it, if you'll find it, please leave a sign